Hi guys, you know what's more embarrassing than PMQs? Lee Anderson at PMQs. So the Reform UK MP stood up in the House of Commons on Wednesday and he demanded to know if local elections are going ahead next year. But before that, he engaged in a bit of pantomime which resulted in the House laughing at him, and it included some of his Reform UK MP colleagues. Have a listen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Whilst the Labour front bench continue to peddle their own form of dog whistle politics, Reform UK...
The expert.
I don't know who said it, but somebody shouted the expert. You know, oh my goodness, like everyone is laughing at Lee Anderson, and it includes Richard Tice, Nigel Farage, and Danny Kruger. You can't really see Sarah Potchin. She's not laughing. Maybe she doesn't get the joke.
Reform UK are cracking on with the day job. Our reform-led councils are reform...
Could I just say, you might say it's the way he tells them, but it might be worse. It's the way I tell them. Lee Anderson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Our reform-led councils have already identified savings of over £330 million in the first 6 months. And the Prime Minister may shake his head
Okay, before we continue... Richard Tice was asked about these savings, and it seems a lot of these savings are future savings. They're not actual savings now. They're talking about, in the future, we will save this amount of money. We'll change contracts and we'll save this amount of money. So it's not an actual saving today. It's a prediction of how much they'll save in the future. But when it comes to reform-led councils, one recently spent money on repainting a road outside a school. But the problem was that that school hadn't been used since 2016, since the Brexit vote. Nothing to do with Brexit, but since the Brexit vote. And the Reform UK Council spent money on that. Good use of money. The building itself was recently sold, but it hadn't been used in almost 10 years. So it's not exactly a good example of a reform-led council.
Propped up by these gullible backbenchers. But here's the challenge. Will he ensure that all the cancelled elections from this year and the proposed local elections for next year will go ahead in May 2026? Go on, be a man.
Be a man? Like, what the hell are you talking about? The Prime Minister can't guarantee that elections will take place because it depends on the situation. It may not be necessary for an election to take place. It may be a case where some councils are merging. I've talked about this before. If a council is merging with another one, there may not be elections taking place in one of those councils because the council doesn't exist anymore. So the Prime Minister can't guarantee. Also, there could be flooding. There could be a natural disaster. So, of course, the Prime Minister can't guarantee that elections will take place. Nonsense. But then this is Lee Anderson and reform.
I didn't realise this was quite so good at stand-up comedy. Mr. Speaker, he talks about dog whistle. Last week, his leader said he didn't have time to condemn the racist comments of his fellow MP for Runcorn. He also said he didn't have time to condemn his party calling children in care evil. He didn't have time. I wonder if he can ask his leader next door to him whether he's got time for his explanation for the stories in today's papers.
So once again, Nigel Farage doesn't have time to respond to little people. He has more important things to do, like, run a show on GB News, go and kiss Donald Trump's backside. These are more important things than responding to racist comments by his colleagues or people within his party. And, we're seeing more and more of this come out in the washing. We're seeing more and more councillors be exposed as racist or bigoted or engaging in some sort of delinquent behaviour even. And this is part and parcel of Reform UK. And can you imagine what it'll be like when the election comes around? You're going to see more and more Lee Andersons. You're going to see more and more Sarah Potchins. You're going to see more and more Richard Tices and Danny Krugers. So it's going to be amplified. It's great for people like myself. There'll be lots to talk about, but it would be a disaster for a government. Can you imagine a government run by, Nigel Farage? Can you imagine Lee Anderson as a government minister? It would be insane. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.